Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another video on Starseed Academy. My name is Jenny. Okay, so for today's video, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about a dream that I had last night that was more than a dream. It was definitely this beautiful astral experience. And then I want to hear from you about what's going on with your dreams. Are you noticing more lucidity? So when you're more aware in the dream world, are you noticing more detail, more like bright colors, specifics? Are you remembering a lot? Like, what's going on with your dreams? Because this was a really cool one that I'm going to describe for you. But before we jump into my dream, I just want to make a little announcement. So I know that I've talked about this a couple of times on this channel, but just in case you haven't heard it yet, I'm coming out with something brand new, and it's going live in February. And this is going to be my first course. So it's a group mentorship course, and it's called Psychic Light Training. Okay, so that's training you to use your psychic gifts in service to the light, right? So everything that a light warrior would need to complete their earth mission. So that's includes your psychic gifts. Okay, so claircognizance, which is your downloads, clairvoyance, which is your third eye, clairaudience, which is your ear chakras, and clairsentience, which is like your empath gifts in your solar plexus. So all of your clairs, all of your psychic gifts, plus training for channeling. So channeling is more than just bringing through words. Channeling can be so many things. You can channel music, art, healing, like hands-on healing. You could channel a book. You could channel a message. I mean, channeling is so amazing. You can channel other people's teams, like their guides on their team. It's unlimited what you can do with it. It's so important, and it's really changed my life. Channeling probably has been and my psychic gifts, I mean, just have really changed my life so much. But there's another part of this psychic training. So psychic gifts, channeling, and astral travel. Okay, so going into different dimensions or realms and completing missions. So that's something that my members and I do together. We go on astral missions, we go on journeys, and we complete missions in all different kinds of experiences and places. And there's so many different like things that we do and accomplish. We're really doing like a lot of work in the astral realms, but you can learn how to astral travel. Even if you are somebody that does it, you can definitely learn something from me about lots of different tips and tricks, but also how to know where you're needed, how to know what your mission is that night, where you need to go, what you need to do, how you can actually be of service in the astral realm, like in your dream time when you're sleeping. So all of those things comprise like the psychic gifts, the channeling, and the astral travel and missions. All of that together is like a light warrior package, is what you need to complete your earth mission. That's what's going to support you on your earth mission, right? As well as other people. And so also that's why I'm doing this in a group setting, because it's all about the support of like-minded souls that are also awakening and on the same path as you. It makes magic happen in these kinds of containers and groups. I've seen it in my membership. I've seen it in courses that I've taken. It makes it so much more impactful when it's a group. So we're doing it as a group, but it is a mentorship on psychic light training. And those are all the things that will be included. So I'll be releasing more information about it soon. I'm still building it right now. I'll be releasing information on like the curriculum and how it will flow and how many weeks it will be and all of that. But just know that I'll be talking about it all of January, like getting people signed up. And then we'll be going live in February. So that being said, because of that, because I'm going to be giving so much more of my energy and my time, I need to pull back somewhere. So I'm going to be pulling back to only one video a week on YouTube. So I'll be doing Sunday videos every week. They'll be powerful, epic, amazing videos. I'll still be here with you on YouTube. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just minimizing my, how I've been stretching myself and my energy over a lot of different projects. So because I want to expand with Starseed Academy, I have to find that energy and time somewhere and then put it into this. So if you were with me, like if you were an OG and you've been following this channel for a long time, then you'll know that for a long time, I did new videos every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. And then when I started taking one-on-one clients and started up a membership group, I took away the Monday. So that's kind of where we're at again, needing to evolve, needing to expand, and needing to allow Starseed Academy to take the path and the course that it needs to take. So I'm feeling called to minimize down to one video a week and then put that time and energy into this incredible membership group. So I'm super, super excited about it. I know it's the next level for me. I've been going through so many initiations personally just to even be able to offer this. So let alone to like teach it or be somebody in there receiving all of this into your system. It's going to be so, so impactful. It's really going to change people's like course, their timeline. And I just feel like this is what I'm meant to be doing. So I'm really excited. Let me know down below if you'd like to hear more about that mentorship training, about this course. It's like a group course. It's going to be so great. Okay, so I'll move on now to tell you about this week's video, which I'm going to talk about a dream that I had, but I do want to know about your own dreams. So I can read in the comments below what kind of experiences you've been having. Have you also been traveling to other realms? Have you also been having like meetings or doing missions or whatever? So for me last night, I was in the angelic realms and I was having a meeting, but we were standing like all in a circle and we were just talking. We were just talking in this angelic language and I was speaking it so fluently. And it all made perfect sense to me too, of course, right? Because I'm the soul having this experience and the soul is so unlimited. So yeah, I was having a meeting and I was meeting with all these angelic beings and we were talking, we were laughing, we were figuring things out, we were planning. I don't know what though, but I just know that we were. And then I woke up or I thought I woke up. I just want to clarify that I actually did not wake up, but I thought that I did. So have you had a dream where you wake up and it's so real, but it's still a part of the dream and you're like, what's going on? Like it feels like a part of your life. So I dreamt that I woke up from this angelic realm. I woke up and I was in my bed and I was still speaking that language. And I spoke it for a while, like I woke up and instead of speaking English, I now spoke this other language. And people were confused. And I was kind of confused too, like at why they weren't understanding me. And they would, like it was just this whole thing. And so that went on for a little while as a layer of the dream. It's like a dream layer. When you think you wake up, you're actually in a new layer of the dream, or some people call it a dream web. When you wake up, but you didn't really wake up, that's a dream layer or a dream web. Okay. So then I actually woke up for real this time in my bed. And I was kind of like, what's going on? Because I woke up for real in the exact same way that I woke up in the dream. I woke up in my bed, kind of confused. I was speaking this angelic language. And then I woke up again and I'm like, I just woke up twice. What's going on? So it was really weird, but interesting, really powerful. And then today, all day today, in between clients, I've had these like outbursts, for lack of a better word, of this angelic language coming through. And it's coming through so fast that I can barely like get my mouth around it. It's like fast. And I feel like it's raising my frequency. Like I feel it raising my vibration afterwards. Like I kind of like have this like session where I'm like talking and then I feel like lifted up afterwards. I'm like, oh, I feel really good. Like, but I don't really know what I'm saying and I don't know where it's coming from and I don't know why this is happening, but it's clear, it's definitely connected to the dream, which was more than a dream, right? Like these are astral experiences, but it's all connected. So I don't know, I just felt really called to share that in case somebody else was experiencing aspects of what are happening with me, either having dreams that feel very real and then you're like not really sure what's reality and what's the dream. Or maybe you are actually also experiencing like a light language or a soul language coming through and starting to be activated. It's starting to activate itself, maybe in your throat chakra or in your heart. And maybe you're also being shown that it's going to be a part of your mission, a part of your work. So for me, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like it's kind of coming online or being activated within me because I've used it here and there, like especially during healings. Like if I'm in a one-on-one with someone and we're working through something, sometimes it will come out and it contains, so light language contains codes, frequencies, activations, a lot of the time healing codes that are going to actually like quicken the healing or speed up the healing process or move healing energy through someone, or activation codes where it's going to awaken them. So yeah, just really interesting. And I think it's because all of the changes that I've been going through, like on December 21st, if you were a part of it, I did a live public event on Instagram where we were integrating diamond codes, crystalline frequencies, and then the integration of that was intense. And a lot of people are now experiencing like things happening, right? Things changing within them are coming online. So if you were at that event, let me know. Are you experiencing, like, what was your integration like? Are you now experiencing soul gifts coming online? Have you unlocked something? Like, I feel like this is something being unlocked within me, which is really exciting and cool, right? Okay. So then I thought what we could do today, other than just wanting to tell you about this experience, was I thought that I could just quickly tap in and channel from source, like tap into God source, and just ask, what was that? What was that dream? What's going on? And like see if I can get some answers about what's coming through. See if there's anything there to share with you all. And then maybe even bring through a message of that language for you. Because I feel like if it's activating me, then it might activate you as well. Because it feels like higher potency than what I usually speak with or come into contact with. And the speed of it is insane. When it's happening, I really have to not think. I really have to just go, I guess same as it is channeling too then, right? It's channeling too. Because I really have to get out of my own way. Because as soon as I start to think about what does that mean or what am I trying to say, it stops the flow. So I really just have to breathe and like surrender to it. So, okay. So let's do a little channeling today together and see what comes through. Either, about the light language or the languages coming down for everybody right now on Earth, if you're also feeling this activation, or maybe just, maybe it's connected to that event from December 21st. Like, I really don't know what's going to come through. So I'm just going to be open to what comes through. But I do feel guided to share this. So, and then just before I channel, I just want to let you know that I already created the connection to Source and to Gaia and have my angelic, like sacred space protected around me. I already have all that ready to go for this. Okay. So yeah, let's just jump in and get started. So if you want to tune in with me, a way that you can tune is just place your hand over your heart like this and feet flat on the floor. Take a couple of deep breaths. And I'll just tune in while you're doing that. Okay. So I'm connecting to God Source, whom I call Baba, which can mean grandfather spirit or grandmother spirit. So Baba, I'm asking like, Baba, what's going on with me? What is this? Is this an unlocking? Is this a new level? Like, what is happening? And the confirmation that I received is that it is connected to the December 21st event that we did, where we brought into ourselves 6D frequencies, which are crystalline codes, diamond codes, and those kinds of frequencies. And that is advancing the ascension which will unlock soul gifts. I mean, it always does when you go through an ascension, you raise your frequency up, up, up. So we're raising our frequency up to a higher, so to 260. So many of us have been living in a 5D existence for a while now. Like we've really been confidently living within the 5D highest timeline that we can access. Unplugging from 9 to 5, creating our own stream of abundance, working as entrepreneurs, living through our spiritual journey and sharing that, and really serving the light. Okay, so that's what I've been doing like for over a year. Like I've just been doing that. So now it's like I feel like I'm going up to the next level. And like I mentioned in that event for December 21st, the next level is to take your body with you, right? We've been ascending in a lot of ways just as the energy that we are. But now we're being called to ascend the body, right? So that means it's a lot of physical symptoms as the body makes changes. And I also brought through in that event, if you haven't seen it, you can find the replay on Instagram. I channeled a message at the end about what's going on right now. And what came through was that Gaia is mirroring for the new year, for 2022, Gaia and humanity are mirroring each other. As we go through the turbulence of physical upgrades, as we ascend the physical body, Gaia is also going through physical upgrades, and they look like natural disasters and different ways that she can shake loose old energy. And then we're going to experience that in our bodies throughout different chakras. A lot of people are feeling it right now. Digestive, solar plexus, chakras, digestive issues and pain and all of that. And other people are really experiencing it in the sacral, where the divine feminine is, with like menstrual cycle issues, pain there as well. And then other people are experiencing like a lot of headaches. So that's crown chakra. So it wherever you are have holding the most density still is going to be where it hurts the most, because that's what this is. It's a shedding of density as you raise your physical frequency now. So we're not just ascending as the soul that we are, the spirit that we are, the consciousness, because we've always called it the evolution of consciousness happening on the planet. Now it's an evolution of humanity. We're becoming the new human, the divine human, and that is physical. That is very real physical changes happening, crystalline changes in the body. Okay. So maybe you're experiencing that too. Okay. And so that is somehow connected to this dream I had. So let me just find out how. I'm hearing the word access, like I'm able to access higher. And remember, access and remember the higher realm experiences that I have. Like, so this was in an angelic realm, which is a very high frequency to go and visit. And for me to remember that says a lot. So if you are the soul outside of the body, you are likely to access, yes, all of these, high dimensions or low dimensions. You go where you're needed and where you're called. But to be able to remember that when you wake up is a whole other story a lot of the time. And so if you're finding now that you are remembering more, it's because you are accessing that memory, that higher frequency memory. You're ready for it. It's okay for it to come in now. It's okay for you to remember. It's okay for you to consciously know what you're up to as the soul. You're accessing more. Okay, so that's part of it. And then you're bringing it back with you. I heard bringing it home with you. So I brought home the light language or the angelic language, whatever you want to call it. I was speaking a language with angels and I brought it home with me in a very real and physical way, right? So more access and then bringing it home with you. Accessing new parts of yourself as you integrate all of these lifetimes. You've probably been working on soul retrievals. Oh yes, I just did a soul retrieval with my membership group too. So that's probably affecting me. That makes a lot of sense because I'm like pulling in new parts of myself integrating these new parts of myself and then accessing all of these new soul gifts and frequencies. So that makes so much sense. And then bringing it back with me, bringing it home with me, and then having it still when I wake up. So that's amazing. So just a little information coming through about light language. It's like, some people say, well, it's angelic light language, or it's Lyran light language, or it's Pleiadian light, like it's all these different kinds of language. And it's really like one language. And that's why people call it light language, but it's expressed differently by each group. And so it's just like learning, okay, so say you learned French and Spanish. So say like you learned angelic and Pleiadian. You know how to speak either one, but it's still light language. So it's going to sound different depending on who you are, how you express it, where you are. Like if you're translating it to a Lyran or an angel or a Pleiadian or a mantis, it sounds really different. And there's a lot of ways that it sounds different, because it sounds different depending on who's speaking it, due to our own inflections, just like an accent. Just like I would sound different if I'm speaking angelic light language right next to someone else speaking angelic light language. I'm still going to interpret it and speak it differently than them, because I'm this unique soul. How it's the same is that the coding, the activation, the frequency of it, the energy of it, the essence of it is true throughout. I kind of have a question now. If everyone has a light language, does human have a light language? Okay, so when I asked that, I heard speaking in tongues, like in biblical times, right? I mean, everybody has a way of speaking light language, the Pleiadians, the Andromedans, the angels, the Lyrans. Humanity must also have a way where we're not just translating, okay, it's complicated, right? Because it's like, if I'm speaking angelic light language, I'm speaking light language, but I'm using the language of the angels, their language, their translation. Is there just a human? I just want to know. I'm just going to tune in to find out. Is there just a human light language that isn't connected to a higher realm, like an angel or any other galactic being, or time, like Atlantis or Lemuria? Is there just a human one? And it's the light language as a human would translate it, and not through some other language. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me just see what comes through. I feel like it would be very earthy, and I feel it connected to two different times on the earth. I feel it connected to Avalon, which was one of the golden eras here on earth, and Lemuria, but not Atlantis. I feel like in Atlantis, it was something else happening. Maybe it was more of a galactic origin. Maybe they had a lot of visitors. But I see in Lemuria that it would have happened organically through meditation, opening ourselves up to it. And it would have been the human translation of light language. It doesn't have to go through the angels or the Pleiadians or the Lemurians. You can just speak light language. And I think that's what I've always called soul language. I think I did a video on this channel about the difference between light language and soul language, and that light language was something channeled. It was some other language, and that soul language was straight from the soul. It was from your own soul, your interpretation of the light and how you would speak it in these codes and everything. That being said, now I don't know what I was really speaking in that dream, because I came back and had it still. Is it soul language? Is it light language? Maybe it doesn't have to be as confusing as I'm making it. Okay, I just heard you were speaking the language of the angels. Okay, so that remains the same point then. So I was with the angels, speaking their language, and then just brought that back with me and continued to speak it all day. And oh my gosh, did it ever raise my frequencies? Because the angelic dimensions are some of like the highest dimensions that we know of. And I say that we know of because I know that this universe is ever expanding. And there are higher dimensions that we have yet to access or learn about, higher than even the angels, and that there are lower ones that we have yet to access. It just continues in both directions infinitely. So we're not going to know everything. And if you think that there's only 12 dimensions or 14 dimensions, there's infinite amount of dimensions. And then remember, God's source is outside of that. It's not a dimension. It's the source, the creation. It would create all of that and be its own outside of the universe. I always say at the edge of the universe, creating the dimensions and all the different kinds of beings that have incarnations in them. You got to go outside of the dimensions to get to God's source. And that is where souls go in between incarnations. They go to like what they call heaven or source outside of dimensions. Okay. Yeah, so I was speaking angelic, but we can speak soul language. And I did an example of that. So if you're interested in that, check out, maybe I'll try and link it up at the end of this video. It was the difference between light language and soul language. And I remember now, just all coming back to me now, that I spoke a little bit of light language and then I spoke some soul language and they did sound really different. So, okay, so that's interesting. So I was speaking light language, feeling very activated with the angelic frequencies and speaking angelic version of light language. And then brought that back here with me. And what that's doing for me is like raising the frequencies of my whole body. And every time that I did it today, I did feel lifted. I did feel raised up. And it's also like encoded to activate and upgrade your throat center, because that's where it's coming from, right? And probably also your crown chakra, because it's coming through there and then out the throat. So that would all be affected by it. Awesome. Okay, let me just see if there's anything else that wants to come through for anyone. Any messages about what's happening with us right now? So I'm hearing if you keep moving through your lessons and your healing, you will keep expanding and growing. There is no limit. You can expand for your entire human life. There's no end point. It's not about that destination. It is about the journey of expansion and growing. And enjoy it. Enjoy it. And if you can't enjoy the process, then you're going to struggle to be happy, because it's actually all the process. It's all the process. There's no destination. Fall in love with the process. Fall in love with these moments of the expansion and the growth and the changes and the evolution. Fall in love with that, because that's all there is. That's what it is. It's the process. And if you're a soul like me, you keep going, you just keep expanding. You stay on that path of growth. That's what's important. Okay. So I feel like somebody needed to hear that today. Is that it's not about a destination. Like some people are like, oh, good, I just need to get to 5D. And it's like, there's so much more. There's so much more. And you can go as far as you want to with it. You can continue as far as you want to. And that's beautiful. That's what our soul desires underneath the human desires. The soul desire is to continue to grow and expand and learn and evolve. So yeah, so now we're taking the physical self too. So it's really going to be an interesting 2022 with probably a lot of physical symptoms and changes in the way people desire to eat, changes in diet, changes in exercise, all of that's still coming up when I tap in. And changes in the way that you feel in your body, how your soul connects to your body. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Okay, I think just a message in angelic language, and the coding that's going to be coming through, the activation that's going to be coming through, is about like encouragement as you continue on this journey of healing, especially those of you that are moving into these physical changes and becoming like the divine human and taking the body along. Some information is going to be coming through about that, about the body changes that we can expect and how it works. Like, not how it works. Sorry, I translated that wrong. The coding in this message of angelic language is actually going to help the body. Okay, that's what it is. So that's why I always felt so much better today after each like spell of, I don't know what to call it, but it came over me and I would just speak it so fast for a little while. After each one of those, my body felt so much better. I felt lighter, physically less dense, felt lighter. That's what it is. Okay, so whatever it is that I've tapped into and I'm bringing through is helping to lighten the density in the physical body, which is exactly what we're trying to do. So how helpful is that? Okay, so I'm going to try to bring through a message for you now. There's something about going on camera that makes everything feel so much more scary for some reason. I don't know why. It's silly because it's just been effortlessly flowing today. So I just need to kind of get my ego out of the way for a sec. And then if you want to receive these codes for your physical body's ascension, receiving mode means drop the shoulders, make sure they're relaxed, lean back in your seat, tilt the head back a little. That's receiving mode. And deep breaths. And I'm just tuning in and asking, send through the coding for the body ascension. Isteamariaka, Eostoyoko Nyoma Ayatiana, Eosoyoko, Ena, Eamana, Eosoyo, Eaka, Eamana, Eoso, Eotu, Spokiono, Fiumiaha, Eotono, Eoso. Amia Kanayapo, Amia Kanayapayasi, Eotonio, Eoko, Eokoko, Eosonio, Eama, Eama, Eama. Eokonoyopo, Eotoyo Soyona, Eamaka, Eakamayate, Eoku, Eoku, Eoku. Empiana Hayamate, Eosoyomana, Eokonya, Easamia, Eoto. Kameakano, Eokono, Eoso. Kimia Kanayat Pate, Eosoyomana Kara, Enomiate, Eosonioma Aka. Aka, Amiata, Eoto, Eratama. Eokumea Kanatamea, Eosomiata, Eanamanaga, Eoto. Hamaka, Enama. Hamaka, Enama, Eosonoma, Eoko, Eokonomanka, Emotea, Eosumiaka. Ena, Ama, Ama, Ama. So wherever you feel that in the body, I actually felt that, like if I could place where it kind of hit in the solar plexus, which makes sense for me because that's where I've been struggling the most with these physical upgrades, like really struggling with digestive issues. Oh, it's been so bad. It's like you barely get a good day and then it's right back downhill again and nothing seems to help, but it's all just changing. Everything's changing. And I'm just trying to support myself as much as I can by being in a higher frequency and meditating and exercising the body and trying unsuccessfully a lot of the time, to eat high frequency stuff. I mean, the holidays, what are you going to do? But just feel where that, like, feel in your body where that message hit. And I think that's where it's being, I kind of feel like lower heart, higher, like stomach, like in there. That's where it was needed then, right? That's where my body pulled in the codes and placed them, because that's where the density was the worst. And we're trying to lighten that up. So this is all about taking the body, like we are ascending body and soul and all that I am, all of it, all of your selves, like your energy body, your soul, your aura, your physical body, all of it needs to go. You can't just ascend like the top 3 chakras or 4 chakras up and then leave the bottom ones, like, and the physical body behind. So a lot of people are feeling this in like the lower chakras, because that's where most of the density still exists, in the bottom 3, 3.5. And to clear that and to really raise that up in the frequency and the density, so that your body can do what it needs to do, which is ascend, right? So you're probably going to be experiencing most of the physical symptoms, I would imagine, in the lower half of the body. So from top of the stomach down. But not everybody. Wherever you are experiencing the physical symptoms, these ascension symptoms that people call them, is where the density is the heaviest. And that's why it's so much harder, like wherever it is. You'll feel it the hardest there, because there's all this density to break up. So anyway, hopefully that this was helpful for you. Let me know how you received it. How did it feel in your body when you received that angelic language? Let me know about your dreams. Are you also having crazy dream experiences? Is anybody else being activated in a language style way and having that come through and being shown that it's going to be a part of their like journey of healing, or possibly their purpose in serving others with it? So just let me know. I love reading your comments. I love you all so much. And I will see you next time on Sunday. And remember, you're going to be seeing me every single Sunday with a brand new video here on this channel. Please remember to like. Most of all, please share. When you share, that is so helpful. And then also comment below, of course. I love that. And before you go, please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. I love you, beautiful starseeds. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.